Hey Pisces, welcome back to July, to eclipse season. Sorry. So, I have this sensation that I have no idea, because I haven't even tried to record this before, at least for you, I mean. Cancer was a whole other story. I kept trying and like other things were just kept interrupting me. Ugh. Whatever. I'm so easily annoyed. That's I swear that's some of my Virgo qualities. But I have this sensation that you are just going to truly master Cancer season, like in a way that, you know, Cancer is the force, but it's like you're so okay with it. You're so okay with it, and you are just going to go with the flow of the time. And that's fantastic. Be your mermaid self. Be your mermaid self. I think it's going to work out fantastic. The total solar eclipse is going to happen on July 2nd. The way I've been describing that in the other videos is that earth signs and water signs are going to have a much easier time navigating the total solar eclipse than the air signs and the fire signs. And I say that because earth and water are of feminine energy, and when the lights go out, that receptivity kicks on. And so walking into the total solar eclipse is going to feel like walking into a dark room, and your ability to navigate those scapes without sight is comfortable for you, and you will be able to I think a part of you will not only bear witness to how other people are so easily disrupted during this time, but you're going to be the pleasant reminder to everybody, like, hey, you know, stuff happens, new things happen, things are changing all the time. Like, what are you holding on to? Why are you holding on to anything and everything? And if you have a thing, like, just appreciate it while you have it. That going with the flow of things, because at the beginning of the month, the ocean's ruler, Neptune, is retrograde. Darn, I really thought, like, he was gonna stop. Yeah, the ruler of the ocean is retrograde, and that's like receding the tides and just holding them there until the retrograde, gosh, my nose looks really bright, holding the seas back until the retrograde is over on July 1st, and then it has the propensity to be like this just massive tidal wave that can come and, you know, obliterate anything that's just sort of been hanging around for too long and it hasn't been looked after, and, you know, you'll be engulfed if you're not paying attention. So the eclipses, total solar on the 2nd, and then the partial lunar eclipse on the 16th, are taking place in the areas of your 5th and your 11th house. Yep, that's right. I messed up in the Sagittarius reading. I did Sagittarius' video earlier, and there's a very easy mathematical formula, and like for some reason my brain just can't remember. You just add 6, I don't know. So I put the wrong house, and still, I mean, the reading still worked, but I have to like literally count the signs. It's my brain. What are you gonna do? So I know that and with Mars and Leo, there's something about lighting up. You're lighting up, and maybe lightening up, but you're lighting up in regards to the areas that are just like passion projects. That's what I call them, passion projects. It's where your creativity is sparked. What really calls to your heart? What makes you feel alive? And sorry. Some people just have loud cars. Yes, what really lights you up? What makes you feel alive? How can you nurture those things? How can you give to those things so that you are integrating them in for the most pleasant experience possible? I mean, that's why we're here, is to feel alive. To feel alive. And your 11th house is about the communities, about the people, about the groups. Like, who can you connect with, and how can you position yourself in such a way that you are living a life that you are most passionate about? It's fantastic. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. I am glad I'm a Pisces rising right now. Those particular things, so when the total solar eclipse happens, like I said, a change is going to happen externally, and we're going to be aware of the change within and sort of waiting to see how it changed externally. And then that will begin to assimilate after the total solar eclipse is over. And then we'll be able to integrate into what the change actually was, because we know something changed. We could feel it. We can feel it. We can almost smell it in the air. It's different. And once that change begins to emerge, it's going to become evident that there is a very specific emotional experience, almost like a footprint from the past, that with this new opening, with this new change, with this new direction, that aspect will have to go. That'll have to go, and something new will be coming in to replace it. So everybody's experiencing certain kinds of changes. Everyone is experiencing a new cycle of growth. Everyone is going to be dealt the appropriate changes per their karma. So that's what's on the agenda, and I don't want to take more time than that to dive into the astrology, because I make something called an astromap, and I publish it on my website for free. And if you don't know what my website is, it's in the description box below, but it's guidedmetanoia, METANOIA. And you should, if you're interested in astrology, if you like sort of the nitty-gritty quality of understanding what a planet does in what particular house and how that affects the sign, that's why I publish them. Additionally, it is meant to be used like a practical guide to living out your month with what the energies are. Is it predictive? No. Is it suggestive? Entirely. Everyone has a very specific sequence of planets per their birth chart, and how that is affected changes how a transit incorporates itself into your life. And so really, I mean, where I start with a lot of the people that I meet with is doing like an astro tarot reading, which is your own tarot reading, a general reading. That way whatever comes up, whether that's health, wealth, love, destiny, career, things like that. But it incorporates the birth chart, and it's a very, I mean, it takes about 90 minutes. I don't think I've been able to consolidate it any less, but it's entirely specific, and it is meant to gear at your uniqueness. Okay? So if it's something you're interested in, my calendar's opening up. I don't have an online scheduler, so you just have to email me if you're interested in doing that, and I'll send you prices, information to schedule and stuff like that. But the astro maps are free, and so, oh, my dogs are outside. Be careful. They have like a rope. Yep. Hang on. Hang on, because that's just too much. No, that's just too much. Hang on. Okay, we're back. So, those are the areas that are being highlighted for you. Astromaps on the site, blah, blah, blah. The cards that are up, 3 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, both in the upright. What does this speak to? If you're sad about, if you have kind of moved on from a phase that was incredibly uniting, you know, if you had a clique of people that you just really vibed with really well, there is experiencing a certain shift. I'm sorry, getting used to the scope of this. The 5 of Pentacles talks about feeling left out of a particular group, community, or organization. It's like a clique. 3 people in particular. Could be women, could be men. But it's just this sense of camaraderie and celebration and having a good time and gathering with each other, and then sort of standing on the outside of it being like, you know, woe is me kind of thing, and feeling like maybe like why can't the good things last? You know, why do I always feel maybe like I'm always on the outside of things? And having that certainly affect your confidence and affect your sense of value. It affects your sense of worth, and in general it affects your sense of well-being too. And the beauty of the 5 of Pentacles is that it is self-imposed entirely. It's the self-imposed state. And the reason I say that is because these people they're walking around outside of the very resource that can help them, and they just, you know, have to like speak up and ask to go inside and to be let in, and you know, not feel like they have to stay on the outside, like they're undeserving of going inside. I'm just, oh, it's too funny. His name is Ron. Okay, Ron's my neighbor. Ron and Faye, they're good people. And I want to say it was the Taurus reading. Their dog interrupted me. I think today's just that kind of day. It's what it is. So, yeah, I see you kind of looking back on a situation, or currently seeing that there's a dynamic that you want to be a part of, but it's like you've separated yourself from it, and it's very isolating. It's sad. But I want you to know that you are not on the outside, that you can be a part of this particular group, or you can reconnect with these people, or that celebratory kind of energy. That's here for you. That's here for you if that's what you want. So, I see. I don't know that I'll take all that. It's quite a few cards. Can you please, this little guy's been around me all day. Go over there, please. So, I think that you can manifest, what was that? A big thud. You can manifest whatever you want. You can manifest the energies of connecting with people that you enjoy the company of and having a good time, or you can experience the sensations of feeling isolated and feeling dejected and feeling rejected, and it's up to you what kind of experiences you want to create. And that's dang, all right. The Tower, the Sun in reverse, Four of Staffs, Seven of Pentacles, Four of Staffs in the reverse, and Justice. The Tower speaks to abrupt, surprise, rapid change. And that could definitely be in the way that you communicate yourself. That could absolutely have to do with your third house and your, the fifth house of the things that you really, I'm sorry, I think I'm hitting the wrong cards. An abrupt shift, an abrupt change, an abrupt newness coming through, adjusting your ego in a very significant way. And it is about I'm going to come back to that, seeing what lights you up because of the pentacles inside the window, and about the connections and groups and people. There is definitely a change that is coming. The Sun in reverse specifically talks about that not quite seeing the change, not quite being aware of all of the details of what's occurred. It doesn't have a keen visibility to it. It's not like, and you see this kind of shift. It's the reverberation of the aftermath of the experience, and then, not being able to see it. The Four of Staffs it is going to destabilize you in some kind of way. It is going to uproot a particular foundational system that's been in place, because you need to start realizing what you're investing in, what you're actually doing with your time. If you are spending more of your time ruminating on what you don't have versus what you do, and what I mean by that is purely like staying with only identifying the things you don't have in your life. Does that make sense? Yeah. You don't, if you don't look to see the happiness in your life, the pleasure in your life, the good experiences, the lessons that we've learned, if we don't acknowledge the people that have been on our journey to support us, we're left to look at all the things we don't have. And that is purely a matter of perspective. And your truth, whatever your truth is, you decide. The universe has nothing to do. The universe is only going to give you what you're asking for. And I know some people are like, what do you mean? I'm really trying to think, trying to believe in something that they don't actually believe in. This is a shift of limiting beliefs and the belief systems that are there to either support and encourage your growth, and like really believing that that is possible. But in order for you to do that, you will have to uproot and get rid of all the beliefs that you have that tell you that you can't, that somehow you're different, things never work out. I believe that I have to be lonely. I believe that nobody really gets me. I believe that life has to be very hard. Those kind of beliefs. And I mean, Everybody has them. But do people really sit long enough to identify what their limiting beliefs are, how that belief came about, and deflating it and getting rid of it, destroying it? Any other cards for Pisces? That Justice card is also about identifying what is really true. And I'm not talking about, this is an objective truth. This is talking about removing yourself from the situation and purely looking at facts. What really is happening? This is not a matter of I want to say what I think versus what I know. And the knowing is like this proven, almost sort of, this might be too lofty, too air sign of an explanation, but it's sort of statistical, it's evidential. It's not personal. It's not personal. The perspective that's gained through the Justice card speaks about the universal truth, which means you have to connect with the laws that apply to everyone. And then you will truck drivers like to compete with one another. It's so sweet. Lots of camaraderie around here. Your truth will be given to you. But I don't mean given to you as in like placed in your hands. You have to come to a knowing about what is really happening. What is really happening? Am I pushing myself out, or am I being pushed out? Am I wanting to be disconnected from other people? How am I reiterating those past cycles for myself again and perhaps again and again? You're gonna see where you stop you. Oh, is that a tick? I think I found a tick. Madonna mia. There you go. Gone? Oh, all right. So, I don't think there are any other cards that are going to come out. So let me just make sure I'm taking a real good look here. Celebratory energy, 5 of Pentacles being on the outside, massive shift, but not a complete awareness of it happening. I still think that there's parts of your heart, there's parts of things that light you up that you're almost unwilling to look at in a way. And that has to shift. That has to change. You have to learn to take the responsibility that's necessary to create the experiences that you want, Pisces. You do. There are some things that aren't just going to naturally, well, that's not entirely true. I was going to say there are some things that don't just naturally come to you. That's wrong. Everything you emit is what is coming back to you. And so I think that you need to really get present and get aware with what it is, like what is the frequency that you are giving off. Okay? Because the way that this tide is going to turn is by your own decision. No, this is what is fair for me. This is what is fair for me. And it will be delivered as everything else has been. So, can I have an oracle card for Pisces for July 2019? Oracle card for Pisces, July 2019. This one. Ooh, receptivity. I believe Taurus got this card as well. If you are dealing with a Taurus. Is that 58 or something? Yeah. Receptivity represents the feminine, receptive quality of water and of the emotions. Her arms are extended upwards to receive, and she is completely immersed in the water. She has no head, no busy and aggressive mind to hinder her pure receptivity. And as she is filled, she is continuously emptying herself, overflowing and receiving more. The lotus pattern or matrix that emerges from her represents the perfect harmony of the universe that becomes apparent when we are in tune with it. The Queen of Water brings a time of unboundedness and gratitude for whatever life brings, without any expectations or demands. Neither duty or thought of merit or reward are important. Sensitivity, intuition, and compassion are the qualities that shine forth now, dissolving all the obstacles that keep us separate from each other and from the whole. Wow. I think this card helps to give me an additional sort of dimension to your reading, in that being, you know, your emotions are your superpower, and some of them may lead you astray, and others can bring you prosperity. But honestly, both are giving all the time. Your feelings, your emotions, they are giving. So let's tune in to the frequency that we want to receive. We give and we receive. So that is happening simultaneously. In fact, they are two, maybe not separate, because they're all part of the same cycle. But what you give is not what you get. That to me is two separate things. I give love does not always mean that I will get love. But if I give on a certain frequency, other things that are on that frequency are what's going to come in. So receptivity. Let's be open to the experience of the solar eclipse and the partial lunar eclipse, and new beautiful foundations, a sense of self-awareness, really understanding what it is that you want to invest in, and then almost the confidence, the courage, and the knowing that it will be given to you in a fair and just way. So you are amidst the portal, you are part of the wave, you are part of the ocean. Sink or swim. Sink or swim. That's what I want to say to you. That's what I'm going to name your video. Thank you so much for your love and support during Gemini season. I really appreciate your views. I appreciate your likes, your subscriptions. Make sure to check out the Astro Map and go flow with the wave. Be the mermaid self that you are. I will see you in August for your August reading. Much love. Bye.